I'll be taking you through the Hungarian Rhapsody number 2 excerpt today for trombones. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is listen. If you haven't listened to this piece yet, it's a great piece of music, a lot of fun. Go on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your music, and just take a listen to it. You can also go on to IMSLP, so just search IMSLP and then Hungarian Rhapsody number 2 list, and it'll pop up. You'll be able to see the scores, trombone parts, different parts of the orchestra, and then so you can follow along with the music and check that out. If you want a challenge, a sight reading challenge, try to play the cello and or bass parts while you listen to the music. It's tricky. It's fun though. Anyways, back to this excerpt. Okay, so with this excerpt, I think there are two components that really kind of make it work, and they are pitch and rhythm. As far as pitch goes, there are two things here. You're in the key of G major. So if you're not comfortable playing in G major or with one sharp, make friends with that. Play your G major scales in different patterns, do arpeggios, do this, do that. Just make friends with G major so you're not fish out of water in this excerpt. The other pitch-related problem with this, or issue to deal with, is all the chromatic scales. Every couple measures there are snippets of chromatic scales, and you want to make sure that you are really hitting the exact positions, hitting those intervals, those half steps, and not kind of just sliding through it and guessing, with your hand and your tongue and everything. So if we start at measure 276, you want to make sure they're really slotted like this. You can even watch your slide while you do it. Just make sure you're not kind of just faking that. And then in the second excerpt from this piece, it's the same chromatic scale. Oh, it's a chromatic scale as well, but it starts on B flat. So like measure 363. Just spend some time with that. Get used to those chromatic scales and how they work on trombone. For this particular piece, they lay pretty well on the horn, so they're not too tricky. But they're still going to need a little bit of time. So yeah, with pitch, G major, playing the key of G major, and chromatic scales. The other thing, other than pitch, is rhythm here. Whenever we play chromatic scales, especially when they're going out, we tend to rush. It tends to sound like we kind of just like rush through it. So if I'm playing the second part, it might sound like something like this. They're going to tend to fall forward and rush. So just make sure you're kind of just keeping them right in time. Use a metronome, slow practice. It'll do you a lot of good. So while the chromatic scales are going to tend to rush, the upbeats, for instance at 282, are going to tend to sit back and be late. So if I start a couple bars before that at that B natural, they're going to tend to sit back there just because they're on the upbeat. So what I would do to practice your rhythm on this excerpt is to just turn everything into eighth notes. So if we start at the beginning, it sounds something like this. So your rhythm is only as good as your subdivision is. So if you're not subdividing, kind of just hoping to feel those quarter notes or feel those upbeats, you're going to be late. So yeah, just heads up with that. I think those are the two biggest things, rhythm and pitch with this. And when you practice, I'm sure you've heard it from your own teachers or from people you've played with before, but play or practice slowly. Okay? Practice slow, progress fast. Practice fast, and you'll progress slowly. So I recommend 4 times slow, 1 time fast. It's going to feel excruciating. It's okay, just do it. It's a really good investment. You'll have a huge return when you go to speed it up, a couple days later. But yes, just 4 times slow, 1 time fast, and that should do you good.